Oh, it's currently 5 minutes to 2. Mm, yeah, that's right. That's 5 minutes to 2 in the morning. So I'll try to keep this video quite short because after this, I'm probably going to watch like one more episode of Naruto and then just go to bed. Um, yeah, so the video would be about the 7 hour trade I took on Wednesday. That's just mostly what I'll cover in this video. Why I took the trade that I took on Wednesday, why I took two positions, in as much as I had a bigger picture in mind. And if I had help for that bigger picture, it would probably be like 10, 20, whatever amount of hour. Why I decided to scale out, and I was satisfied with the results that I had. I did take a 4 hour on Monday, but I'm not going to cover that on this video. People that were in the free Telegram chat probably got to see why I took the 4 hour on Monday. Mostly this month, I have been mostly focused on buys. As you can see, it's just mostly been buys for the most part of this month. But yeah, let's get into it. And I really need to keep this short because I'm actually quite exhausted. All right, so first we'll start from the 4 hour time frame. I don't know why that's saying no connection, but anyways. So we'll start from the 4 hour time frame, and I had a much bigger picture in mind, which was this. So if you look at this, you will notice that we have a fair value gap here. I'll go ahead and expand this now. Oh, cool. So going into the week, I had this in mind, and for the most part of this month, as I've shown you guys, I have mostly been buying. And as you can see from the 1st of October, it's been an uptrend market. And yeah, luckily I've been on the good side of the market with just mostly buying AU. AU has mostly brought in almost all the winners for me this month. EU has literally done anything. Now, before I go into this, if you wonder why I trade two pairs as opposed to one, is that I am more of a mechanical trader rather than, those guys that are dynamic with the way they trade. I'm more of a highly mechanical trader. So I do know that there would come a time where any pair that I'm working with would go through like a period of drought or a period where it's not performing as to how I expect it to perform. So that's why I have two pairs. So it's kind of like me diversifying my portfolio per se. For the most part of this year, EU and AU have kind of worked hand in hand, both working properly. But last month, AU did only 6, EU did about 20, 26. This month, EU has done everything being perfect. EU has done like I think a 5, and AU has done like a 30 something. So imagine I was only trading one pair, whether that was EU or AU. I would have had a difficult month last month. I would have had what the fuck? I would have had sorry, someone's calling by 2 in the morning. I would have had a difficult month last month. I would have had a difficult month this month. But yeah, so that's why I trade two pairs so that I kind of balance things out and I'm able to give my focus to these two pairs. Well, that rant aside, and apologies for the call getting in. I'm not going to review this video again because again, I'm way too tired and it's like 2 in the morning. So yeah, going into this, I had something in mind. So as soon as we broke this structure, right, as soon as we took out the previous week's high, so as you can see, as soon as we took out the previous week's high here, I knew that, okay, I'm going to look for buys at least up until this point. I'll focus on buys from here at least up until this point. Now the question was, how was I going to find my way to get into those buys? Now we had a break of structure here. So we price breaking structure here. So now we're going into Wednesday. So on Tuesday we get a break of structure. It's Tuesday evening. So on Wednesday morning, I already have my mind set to buys. So we'll have a break of structure on Wednesday, and then we'll come into the 4 hour block. So coming into the 4 hour block, I'll scale down to the hourly. So this is the time frame which I use for most of my journey. So we'll have a series of blocks here. So having a series of blocks here, we've gotten our break of structure. We come into it on late Tuesday going into Wednesday. Now I still need more confirmation. So I still wait, and during the Asian session, we take out the previous day's high again with a break of structure, and then a further break of structure here. So we'll break structure, taking out the previous daily high, a further break of structure here again. Now, I wasn't going to buy if price just came back to this block, right? Obviously, you could have done that and you would have still been fine. As you can see, you would have done that here. If you've had maybe adjusted your SL by like maybe given this like a 2 or 3 pip breathing allowance, you would have probably been able to swing it all the way up here. Now, I didn't want to do this because my plan wasn't actually to swing like for 50 pips coming all the way up here, because again, the market doesn't really care about what my premise is or where I feel price is going to go to. In as much as price played from the point of interest where I had marked out to the next point of interest, I always have it at the back of my mind that the market doesn't owe me anything. That kind of keeps me, not kind of, that actually does keep me in check. That makes me humble. That makes me take profits when I'm meant to take them rather than take profits where I feel it should go to. Because I've been in the past, I've been in situations where I have this level and I know I'm trying to swing all the way up here for like 3-4 days, and the market comes here and does something and takes me out, and there's always like me conflicting my mind with like, should I have taken profits early? So I try as much as possible to take profits quite early, but then have an entry that's good enough that if I take profits early, I'm still making enough bank, right, for whatever the trade I've done. So I didn't want to go in from this block. So my idea was to find some manipulation. So having price calm down here, I was looking for a manipulation. And what I mean by manipulation was price taking out a swing point. So price took out this swing point right here. This is literally all I needed. So when I got confirmed that this swing point had been taken out, I scaled down to my confirmation time, which I told you guys is usually the 5 or the 15 minutes. So scale down to my confirmation time frame, which was the 15 minutes. I saw that we had the manipulation on the 15 minutes. We had a break of structure here on the 15 minutes. So I had a manipulation here, I had a break of structure. I went down to the 5 minutes to check. And then on the 5 minutes too, you could see everything was lining up, the manipulation, the break of structure. So now what I wanted to do, or rather what I did, was to go down to the 1 minute and wait for price to come down to the level I was looking for. Now what level did I use? I used the breaker all the way down to the law of the manipulation that the M15 and the M5 had caused. Now, sometimes you can either go in off of the EQ of this, or you can go in, so if I was to mark out the EQ of this level, this is what it would look like. You can go in off of the EQ of this, or you can go in off of the block, the last block that was set, basically due to the manipulation caused by the M15 and the M5. But again, on this day, I wasn't ready to try and squeeze too much out of the market. I was happy with simply just going in from the whole zone, right? And this whole zone was about a 3.4 pip SL. If you had done this, this would have been literally a 2 pip SL and you would have been fine. But anyways, I went in with this, having a 3.4 pip SL, and where was my target? So what I just wanted to go for was the intermediate high of the day. Now I know you're thinking, if I had all of this marked out, why didn't I swing for this point? Again, due to my personal experiences, how my mind works, I would rather bank on something, right, rather than have the regret of, oh yeah, I should have taken some, but yeah, I didn't take some. I hate having that conflicting mindset. But either ways, had my entry here, had my stop loss here, and yes, I didn't hold on to this high. When price got to 5, about 5.5 at this spike here, I shaved off majority of my positions, and that's why I call this trade a 5 hour. But then I knew that the price could push higher, so I was looking for the nearest possible position again that I could get in on a buy, and I thought I could do it here. So if you look closer, there was another manipulation here, this one here, right? I thought. For a minute. That's quite annoying. I hate when that happens. Okay. Yep, I thought I could do it here, but price never came back down. So the next manipulation that I saw, again, using the M15 and the M5, you don't necessarily have to use it, but this time frame, just I know how to read it properly when I have my high time frame premise. So yeah, using the M15, you can see there was an M15 manipulation, an M5 manipulation. I'm just trying to show you guys how my mind processes things. And here, so we had a manipulation here. Double tops got taken out straight into my target that I was looking for. Price came back in again. As soon as we had this retracement back in, went down to the M1, looked out for the whole zone. And with this, what I just wanted was a quick push above this level here. I wasn't looking for anything too fancy. Again, I was trying to be conservative and having a quick push. I went for 2R, right? So this is why I got out. I got out at 2R. Now, if I had held all the way to this high here again, probably would have been like, what, 20 something R. But to be very honest, I wasn't going to sit through all of this and hold my trade through the whole day. I was happy with scaling in here, getting out 5, scaling in here, getting out 2, and that was practically how I played the day. Now on Wednesday, I didn't take a trade because I think after we had hit this point and we broke structure here, I was looking for sells and I never was able to get like a good entry point for sells. So this is how like I use high time frame. I discern the levels, what I'm expecting price to swing to, what I'm expecting price to swing from to the next level, and then I break it down to levels that I can understand, down to the H1, down to the M15, down to the M5, down to the M1. And I'll scale in and then I'll quickly get out when price gets to the next key area. And I'll scale in and I'll quickly get out when price gets to the next key area. Or rather, before price gets to the next key area, I would bank enough. You have to understand if you're literally making 5 hours a week, you're more than good to go. So when I'm able to get like 7 in a day, or like on Monday when I took shorts here and I was able to get like 4, I think it was somewhere around here, and I was able to get like 4 in a day, I am more than happy with those kind of results because obviously the losses will come, but at least I know that before the week ends, I at least should be +5 or up for the week, 5, 10, 6, 7, numbers like that. And that's how I basically played Wednesday. Talking about KPIs, I messed up. This is just a bit of a rant here and a bit of something extra for you guys. I messed up on Thursday. So Thursday on Euro USD, I took a long. I compounded. I was meant to get out at both positions for 2 hours each, which would have been 4 hours banked. And again, this is why I say I like being conservative. I got a bit ahead of myself and I'm like, I'm sure this price could hit 3, but based on all my rules, I should have gotten out at 2. But anyways, I tried squeezing more out of it, tried to get into 3. Price quickly spiked up to 2.2, tanked, right? And I got taken out of those 2 positions. I took 2 more losses for that day. Is it 2? Yeah, I took 2 more losses on AUD for Thursday, and so I ended the day with a -4. And again, this is why I dropped my percentage, like my risk per trade, to like 0.3, 0.5. So -4 is about a -1.2 to about a -2.2, adding commissions and everything. So yeah, I ended up having a -4R, right? This is not percentages now, not -4%, but basically -4R for that day. And which that shouldn't have been the case. What should have happened on that day would have been me having a minus, I think a minus two, I'm trying to remember. It should have been me having a minus, sorry, a +2, because if I had banked on the +4, had a minus, it would have been a +2. And I didn't even notice when I calculated my KPIs. And based on the risk to reward, I did about a 50% performance, and then on a striker, I did about a 65. Again, if you haven't seen the video, do watch the video on KPIs. It will definitely clear up things for you on like where you're lacking, where you made a mistake. And every other thing, I performed as much as I could. Where I made the mistake this week was like not banking on a trade I was meant to bank on at the time I was meant to bank on it. Again, I prefer conservative exits because I'm able to do enough and not try to swing one position for like a 40 hour, 30 hour. I am more than happy with getting out at 5, 6, 7, 3s, 8s, just because that's not conservative for me. Those are actually good results. And yeah, so that's how I took the trade on Wednesday. And yeah, I'll see you guys. I've said in here so much. I'm so tired. Anyways, I'll see you guys during the week, and I hope everyone had a good weekend and wish you guys a good trading week going forward. All right, peace.